So we're entering hole in the wall on the end of a flood tide, so we should still have some current going with us for the next 20 minutes or so that will push us through this channel, and then we'll hit slack tide, which is when the tide changes, and so there'll be virtually no current as we get into the north end of this channel, and we should go out the other end by the time the current the tide ebbs, which would then be a current that we would have to fight against. So this should be fairly simple as long as the engine runs and we stay on course. This hole in the wall rushes very fast during the high and low tides, like when the tides are really moving. It can go through here at maybe 10 or 11 knots. So you see the whirlpools in the water, the different tidal currents that we're dealing with. But at least the current is going our way. If we came through here an hour ago, it would be very dangerous. Wow. So over water we're going 4.2 knots, but over land we're going almost 8 knots. So we have
8.5 knots.
So we have 4.5 knots of current pushing us through this little channel.
Knots.
Wow. We're doing 9 knots over land. Our boat motor will only push this boat 5 or 5.5 knots. So if we were facing 5 knots of current, we'd be going nowhere. But this tide is pushing us through here, giving us 4 to 5 extra knots of speed. But of course, there's no way we could stop if we had to. Wow, look at these, look at the water. Woo-wee. How about we go up one side or the other?
Oh, that's kind of cool.
Okay. One thing I like about this trip is that this is Greg's boat. So I'm always quite happy to go in any narrows or rapids because I always figure it's not my boat. Whoa, big, hey, don't go in this whirlpool here. Yeah, look at those whirlpools. So when the tide is really moving, the legends are that those whirlpools get huge and they can hold your boat and pull it into the water.
Let's drift around for a bit.
All right, just don't get caught in a whirlpool, buddy.
Why, what happens then?
Well, it hangs onto your boat. It's hard to get out of it. Just always make sure you're around the edge of it and it can shoot you out again, but don't get caught into it. Ha! Look at the surging water. And this is fairly calm tide currents right now. Because in half an hour it's slack tide, so everything will just go slack and the tide will change and it'll all start flushing back out of here again. So it's really like shooting a river.
There is. Hole in the wall. And the current is at about 5 knots.